Now, biscuits, they can be a little tricky and you might be a little bit nervous when attempting to make them, but today I'm gonna share with you an easier way to make biscuits. I'm gonna show you how to make drop biscuits, the kissing cousins of the classic roll and cut biscuits. They're really easy to do, and honestly guys, if you master this recipe, you can make this every single morning for a delicious egg sandwich or as an accompaniment for your dinner table. So it's really simple. 2 cups of all-purpose flour in a large bowl. To that, I'm gonna add the leavening agents. That's 2 teaspoons of baking powder. Now remember guys, baking powder is usually sold as double-acting baking powder, and what that means is it reacts with a liquid. That's the first time it reacts, and the second time, or the double time, is when it comes in contact with heat, so in the oven. So 2 teaspoons of baking powder here, a half a teaspoon of baking soda. This will, again, react with the acidic buttermilk that we're going to add, so that's gonna encourage it to leaven. I'm gonna add a little bit of sugar. This is 1 tablespoon of granulated sugar and a half a teaspoon of coarse kosher salt. Now, today I'm making savory drop biscuits, but you could certainly make sweet drop biscuits if you wanted to serve them with butter and jam. That would be great. A little bit of cayenne pepper for some spice. So whisk the spices and the leavening all together, make sure it's evenly distributed. And now, as with regular biscuits, I'm going to cut in the fat. So here I have 6 tablespoons of unsalted butter. This is well chilled and cut into small cubes. Now, you could certainly use one of these pastry cutters here. This breaks up the butter into small size pieces, but I like to just use my hands. Now, you want to make sure if you're using your hands that you work quickly because you don't want to melt the butter. You just want to break it up with the flour until little pea-sized pieces remain. This is what is going to create those wonderful flaky layers, because the little tiny pieces of butter that are in the biscuit, what they do in the oven is they melt down, they create steam, which creates little pockets of air, and that gives you the flakiness in your biscuit. So this shouldn't take too long here. So this looks good. You can see the flour has kind of moistened up a little bit with the butter. It almost looks like coarse cornmeal with pea-sized pieces of fat. So this looks nice. And now I'm going to add the cheese. So I have 8 ounces of cheddar cheese here. This is a sharp cheddar cheese, so that's really maximum flavor. You could also use a really great Gruyere cheese. That would be wonderful in this as well. Stir this together and add in 3 tablespoons of chopped chives. Now you could use chopped dill if you'd like. So once the cheese is kind of evenly incorporated, I'm going to add my buttermilk right into the center of the bowl. So kind of create a well. Add your buttermilk. This is 1 1/3 cup of buttermilk. Make sure before you measure out your buttermilk that you shake it. Sometimes it has a tendency to separate. And now you just want to bring this together just until everything is incorporated. Do not over mix this, because what will happen is you'll end up with a really tough biscuit. So be gentle here. So this is just incorporated. Now preheat your oven to 425 degrees. I'm going to use an ice cream scoop here. You know, this is one of my favorite tools. I love to use it to portion things out. And you need about 1/4 cup of the batter. Now, the beauty here with drop biscuits is that you don't have to cut these into perfectly round bits or perfectly square bites. You can really just kind of use 2 spoons even. You don't even have to use this ice cream scoop, but you want to be careful here. Don't compact the dough, don't press it into the cup. You really want these to remain very nice and light. So space them out. You want them about 2 inches apart because these will grow and puff. So now, again, these go right into the oven, 425 degrees for about 12 minutes. You want to rotate them halfway through the baking process until they're nice and golden brown. So these savory drop biscuits are best hot out of the oven. I would encourage you to kind of gild the lily here with a little bit of softened butter. And there you go, an amazing biscuit recipe that will probably take you half the time as those conventional biscuits. Enjoy, guys.